I got this. All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to EGFH Season 1, Week 3 in League of Legends. In case you missed it, Valley Regional Warriors took a pretty convincing victory over the Lyman Memorial Bulldogs earlier, and now we're getting into our game between New London Whalers and Killingly Redmen. I'm SupermanCasting, and I'm joined here by Thy Dude. And before we get into this game, we want to once again thank our sponsors, the Yukon Gaming Club, Yukon School of Engineering, and HyperX for making this season of play possible.
So I think we're going to be seeing a pretty different composition here. Both of the top laners tend to pick out those tanks. And finally, we're going to maybe see Swain here on the side of the Whalers.
Could be interesting. Some very different bans that have come through.
Oh, yeah.
These are definitely target bans because none of these really fit into the current competitive meta, but I like seeing these target bans. It means these teams have done their research, that dude.
Oh, yeah. And champions like Kled really not that often seen, especially since they're kind of counters a lot of the time. So they look like they're scared of that Kled. Want to make sure they have an extra safe laning phase as we head into the first pick phase.
Oh, we'll just see.
Whalers starting.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Whaler.
Like Killingly is actually on the blue side this time.
We'll have to see exactly what they're actually prioritizing. Wow, the Yasuo lock-in blind first pick. That is some serious pick right there.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It might be a pocket pick here from Legend since I didn't see it in his match history at all before this game. And it's definitely a good flex pick, I think, in this niche situation. You know, it's still first pick Yasuo. On the other side, Ari and Graves locked in.
Huh. Also, not your most common champions. Graves got some buffs recently in this most recent patch, 8.6. Because of the nerfs to Duskblade, there's a little bit better scaling on his own attack damage, but pretty much the same champion. Not buffs that make him any more broken to a greater degree than he may have been before, I would say.
So what is this team composition we're seeing forming on the side of the Whalers here? Because we currently have Yasuo, Malphite, Orianna.
It's the Wombo combo composition, though, dude.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
Malphite in the jungle or support, whichever role he does end up taking. And Malphite, he can get in there with Unstoppable Force, ball combo that up, and you get the Yasuo to follow up with Last Breath. That will insta-delete anyone. I don't care if they're a 3,000, 4,000 health tank. You get caught in that combo, you're down for the count for sure.
And the Kalista getting banned out. Kalista definitely a good choice with this composition. If that did end up being the Malphite support, very, very scary to have that Kalista ult too.
Nice
on the other side here, we see that Gangplank picked up again. Gangplank still very good, very safe pick for how much he scales to the late game.
Yep. Tyranor looks to be comfortable on that pick. Definitely going to be top lane. Should do well against a Malphite if Malphite is for top lane, but I expect Malphite has to be in the jungle or support.
Yep.
Likely going to be the Yasuo top lane, and GP can struggle against that, actually.
Hey, last night, especially, I saw a Yasuo in the bot lane, so, you know, they might end up surprising us. Probably not, but they might end up surprising us.
Could be a cheese composition. We'll have to see what those last picks are as the final bans have come through. Looks like 80 carry MF being hovered here. We'll see if they do choose to lock that in. That's pretty scary. You have to set up and go completely immobile for your ultimate. She does lock it in.
And Kai'Sa's still open too. Kai'Sa actually getting picked out there alongside, looks like the Taric. Taric, really good follow-up with this composition. Leona, really interesting. I would not say that this composition on the side of the Redmen is a very much dive and go in composition, pull the trigger composition like Leona likes.
Why not? It's a nice answer with the Leona to try and get those early picks so that they don't have all members ready, all the components to the Wombo combo here for the Redmen. I gotta say, that is a very confident misfortune pick,
Oh,
to
yeah.
say the least. It's really risky when you pick such an immobile carry who has to stand in place to use bullet time against a composition that wants to AoE jump on you and delete you out. It's very difficult to
Oh,
dodge if you're standing rooted in place. So it could be a little bit scary there for Incubus here on misfortune.
A lot of large scale CC here from the side of the Redmen, actually. They've got a lot of ways to get in. They've got a lot of AoE in order to try and hit out some of those, like you said, the bullet time. Also, Gangplank, fairly immobile. Can't really orange knockups, also. Very important to note.
Yeah, can't orange those away. It can give you the opportunity if you orange mid-air to be able to use flash during the duration of the knockup, but that's it. And that's pretty difficult to pull off. And it doesn't really save you from much if you're just going to get comboed into a last breath, or Oriana is just going to shockwave you back in anyway. So, but both these teams actually have really good scaling, I would say. Lots of damage, decent crowd control from each squad, a lot better split pressure, I would say, out of the top laners in favor of the red men, but Gangplank should be able to match as soon as it crashes on a turret, and he doesn't have to deal with Yasuo trying to dash through and maybe get a solo kill.
One of the interesting things about this composition actually is that scaling that you mentioned. You've got a lot of scaling coming out from Gangplank specifically. Misfortune, Ahri, not typically seen as the biggest scaling champions in the game. Talk to me about the win condition here. What are the Whalers with this Gangplank top, Ahri, Misfortune looking for in order to push out this victory?
It's Graves. Graves has such great clear in the jungle early. He has so much damage. Malphite, so slow with his early clears in the jungle. Even later on, he struggles to get quick clears of any camp at all. So Graves going to be way ahead of the curve. He's going to be in the right places at the right times and with full control of the map, right? Anywhere that's fog of war, Graves could be there, and he's stronger early on. Until Malphite gets a lot of armor, there's not much he can do, especially pre-6. He can really just like maybe walk into a lane, and you're going to have to be really out of position for him to pressure you. So the Graves should be the idea here for the Whalers, to get them ahead, get Graves fed enough that maybe he can insta-delete out a Kai'Sa, Oriana, or Yasuo if they're caught out of position. You miss any one of those members of your Wombo combo composition, and now you kind of just have a scrappy team fight left over that's not as scary to deal with as the huge, balled up, shockwave, unstoppable force, last breath combo with, of course, the Taric ultimate to boot. That's a scary team fight if they have everybody there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with that combination of Wombo combo, as soon as Malphite pulls the trigger, Taric's ultimate will have the full chance to channel before anyone on the enemy team hits the ground with the last breath and the shockwave combined.
Yep.
So they'll definitely be able to follow up on that Wombo to try and take out any stragglers. But it looks like the delay is up, and we are loading onto the Rift.
I'm excited for this game. I mean, there's some implications of this as well, because New England Whalers coming into this game are 3-0 so far in this season. Kingly Redmen 2-1. If they get the win here, they go to 3-1, and that means 3-1 too. Not a tied score overall for that first place slot so far. So could be looking to contest that top edge if the Redmen can take this win. But yes, as you said, dude, we're here on to Summoner's Rift for this game in Kingly Redmen and New London Whalers. I'm excited.
It looks like an exceptionally action-packed game. I do want to shout out, that's a pretty sweet name for a school, and we hope that they can get their killingly spirit going here for them.
It would be nice if they can get on killing sprees. They're really going to need, I don't know, some sort of cushion, because these lanes are not built to bully for the Redmen. Like the Yasuo, he's a little favored against the GP simply because he can kind of bully the 1v1. But GP can just say, fine, I'll farm under turret, no problem. I got parlay, I got oranges, I can BK. And Ahri has the spell range advantage against Orianna early on, a little bit more of the sustain too. I already mentioned about the jungle is just massively in favor of Graves early, and the bottom lane more aggressive and far scarier to play against is the MF Leona combo. I like to play that even in my own games in the bottom lane. You just have so much front end burst and catch potential out of these two champs. So Kai'Sa and Taric gonna get bullied, Orianna gonna get bullied, Yasuo can't really translate what should be a lead for him into pressure on the map early on.
Definitely. And I want to point out also that in terms of the lane pressure that this Graves going to be looking at, that bot lane on his side, the Misfortune Leona tends to push in pretty quickly, especially versus Kai'Sa, unless she takes the missiles her Q first. Same thing in the top lane. Actually, Yasuo should be able to push in Gangplank pretty early, level 1, but level 2, 3, it should turn into the Gangplank's favor in terms of pushing.
Nice Sapphire Crystal start for the GP means he's going to have a little bit more of a mana pool, which can, of course, with the oranges, translate directly into a health pull through. Nice choice for the starter item there, but Yasuo totally comfortable to just set up his own tornadoes for himself, look for the farm too. Just taking stock of the early stuff here. Standard bottom lane leashes for the junglers. They're going to rotate through. You can see Graves has already taken an additional camp on the same timing that Malphite has only been able to take a couple. So he's now taking his third camp. Gonna be looking for buffs next. So hopefully the ganks come through and that early pressure that GP should have top lane that you said before those first few levels might be able to help Graves get a lead by showing up. If Legend, now down to half health, will be so low that they might be able to combo him out.
Legend actually took Wind Wall for his level 2, not something that you see very common. Might have been a misclick there. Typically, the Yasuo likes to take that E second on so he can try and push some aggression. Maybe against the Grasp of the Undying, he doesn't want that. But he does have that new Keystone match for the Conqueror. Gives him a lot of trading power.
A lot of trading power indeed. Nice true damage can come through. Now he's got level 3. He does have the dash available to him. Looking to maybe get some trades, but is spot out the Malphite because of the Scryer's Bloom.
Yeah, he did manage to get that Scuttle Crab actually early on. Sitting pretty even here with Graves, working on his blue buff while Graves is working on his Raptors actually. So Graves will come out ahead right there. Definitely has a good time with those AoE clear camps.
Yeah, smart by the Malphite. I want to give props to him for taking the Scuttle first so that they have the additional vision to deal with the early pressure that Graves could have. So with the Scuttle there, he prioritized that. Now you can see they're not actually going to have any gank paths available on that side of the map for the Graves. But there's the pressure in mid lane. Like I said, the Ahri's going to have mana pool pretty much gone now, so there's not much more that'll come through right away. But pushing into the turret, able to rotate if necessary. But the health lead is huge out of this Ahri versus Orianna matchup.
Yeah, now Ahri is completely out of mana. Definitely looking to get that mana flow band proc as soon as possible here. Try and restore some of that. But Orianna may be lower on health, still has the mana advantage.
Yep, and it looks like Malphite finally is now taking his Raptors, looking to prioritize vision once again, going for the Scuttle on the bottom side of the map. Will likely get seen by those wards in the river at some point. Graves on the other end of the map can't really do anything about it. I mean, you can see both these junglers just hard farming early on, and that actually works out better, I should say, for the Malphite. He'll get closer and closer to that level 6. The Unstoppable's really strong with any lane he wants to gank, but speaking of a gank,
Nivea main into the top lane. The wall comes out early from Legend. Legend does have the knockup, but he doesn't have the ult to follow. He's going to be forced to flash away, and he's just going to run out. Didn't look too good there for him, as that was a pretty easy summoner burn coming out from NA Nivea main on the Graves.
Yeah, I think it must have been a misclick at some point where Graves didn't have flash for that. We're only 5 minutes in, so he must have used it in the last couple of minutes. But I wouldn't have seen where he would have had to. They didn't really fight at all.
Oh, he's gonna run in. He's gonna get it. Damn it. That kind of ran into his own death. Yeah. And in the bot lane, we have some aggression. Zekroid goes in onto Wildchild. Wildchild taking a lot of damage, forced to use the heal and the flash as he gets exhausted. And he's gonna have to run away from the Incubus.
Yeah, Graves trying to look into the enemy jungle, steal away some farm. Doesn't get really much for his troubles, but a nice solo kill. First blood for the top lane. That's off of the assist, not an official assist, but the assist damage to get Legend low that the Graves given by showing up the top lane. But down here in the bottom lane, it's been quiet for a little bit. You can see the farm numbers pretty close, just about a wave of minions in terms of CS score in favor of the Misfortune. You can see double up combos can start to really hurt as soon as you get to execute on the minions.
Yeah, and it's really nice for this Misfortune lane. If she makes it rain, it's very, very easy for the Leona to launch that E and try and get a root off onto Wildchild, who again doesn't have any mobility here. Besides the E speed up.
Never double up lands. You can see that the chip damage is a lot. And you can see they really want to start making it rain for certain on the bottom edge of this map, because as soon as they can, they want to be able to all in and get some kills for themselves, translate that into even more of a gold lead rather than just this health lead. It has to turn it. You have the Leona, so you have to turn this into an actual kill as soon as possible.
Some trades going down in the mid lane. It looks like there was a charm landed onto Quartz Hill, but Quartz Hill burned the barrier. I don't think it really needed to, because there wasn't any mana for the follow-up to the charm. And right now, it's kind of a scary place for Ahri to be, because that shockwave is available and Ahri's low. She's going to have to back.
Yep. And there's only really been the one gank that was successful, even one gank at all, successful or otherwise, on the map, and it was the Graves in the top lane. Ended up translating into the early first blood into 1v1, but now Graves in the bottom side might be gaining more.
Looks like damage coming out onto Leona. Leona's backing off pretty low, gonna have to run away, and the flash coming out here from Taric to stay safe.
Yeah, he does stay safe. After all, they're going to back away to their turret. Nice. 2 successful ganks so far in this game. About 8 minutes now. Oh my goodness. Actually, in mid lane, just a solo kill comes through.
Oh, that was pretty tragic. The charm did come out there from the Ahri. The shockwave cast animation started, didn't fully go off. And Orianna dies tonight. Top lane fight here. Yasuo pretty low, but does manage to land the knockup. Is going to choose not to go on in it. Probably wise.
Yeah, off of that first blood, what should have been a decent matchup for the Yasuo is turning into a nightmare for him. He's doing a decent job trying to keep up his farm numbers, but he doesn't have the sustain that GP does. And now that GP already has a Sheen, anytime he gets any poke damage from a parlay, it's actually a lot. Nice wind wall there to try and mitigate what I was just describing, but it's still bad news bears in the top lane for Legend on the Yasuo.
And once it hits level 7 for the Gangplank, it actually becomes even more dangerous for the Yasuo here. The wind wall does not stop the barrel chains from going off, so a good Gangplank won't even be queuing the Yasuo that much anymore. The shield's just going to eat that up, so he's just going to be looking for barrels here probably to really make sure that not even wind wall can stop his damage.
Yeah, an interesting choice this game versus the last out of these Gangplanks. Last time we saw the Kleptomancy, this time we see the Grasp.
Oh, Malphite coming in top. He is level 6, does have that blue buff, is able to get the slow off onto Gangplank. Gangplank running away, the Bone Shell plate. Oh, he chooses to flash there as Graves comes in. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication, but Graves is now just autoing brute plays down. The knockup is here for Yasuo. He's going to be able to get it onto 2, but he's going to choose not to go into it as Malphite is taken very low. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Leona is able to land the stun onto Kashyyyk, and Kashyyyk goes down. Wildchild standing there just autoing the stationary Misfortune. Oh, is going to use the dash in order to get a shield and survive that double up. Really well played there. But now Wildchild is super low, gonna have to run away from that turret, ditch it, and heal up.
Yeah, work being done on both ends of the map.
Oh, yeah.
Top lane, a lot of pressure forces, unstoppable force defensively, and the teleports come through for this Yasuo to get back to lane and maybe pick up a little bit more farm and hopefully get back into it. But yeah, nice fight on the bottom edge of the map. That's gonna be a kill. Going over to Misfortune. Every lane winning.
You did mention the unstoppable force coming out defensively from Malphite, but on the other side, both Gangplank and Graves burned their ultimates and flashes in order to try to make that gank work, and it just barely didn't work for them.
Yeah, a lot expended, resources used, and they don't actually get much for it. As the teleporter comes through, means they can't even take the turret off of that. Graves does clear out that topside jungle, so he gets a little bit for his troubles, but unless he gets something out of this gank here, it's not really much to speak of.
And Gangplank actually choosing to use his little CS pillow there in order to forego teleporting back to lane. Make sure he has the teleport advantage here since Yasuo used his. So now we've got one summoner versus one. Yasuo with his flash and Gangplank with his teleport.
Yeah, curious choice there, because normally you see these Gangplanks never wanting to really show up with their teleport, because they might as well just throw Cannon Barrage and say, I'm helping! And then, of course, just stay in their own lane and push. It works out pretty well. That's what Gangplank does best. Push with the barrels.
Yeah, and looks like a little bit of a scrap going on top. Legend just trying to get some farm, and Gangplank saying, nope, I'm going to shoot you. Nope, I'm going to shoot you. Just harassing him. He just wants some minions.
Yeah, and you know, actually, Yasuo's doing okay. Despite being down that first blood kill, he still remained within 10 CS or so over the last few minutes. So good on him, and avoiding ganks too. There's been a lot of pressure in the top lane, but he hasn't given up yet, and that's real good on him. So Legend playing true to his name at this point. The guy's keeping up despite that disadvantage that's really hurt their chances of holding that top side of the map.
Oh. Here comes the bullet time from Misfortune bot lane. Kashyyyk taken very low, is going to force out the heal. He's not going to even try to ult that out, and he's going to go down. So a really nice engage here from Inkidius and Sekiro.
Might be looking for more fights in the bottom lane as both junglers show up.
Yeah, they don't have that Targ for the invulnerability. But, oh, top side looks like there's a fight here, choosing not to do the last breath on Tyranor. Oh, Tyranor is running away here. Oh, the Q's just, he's trying to predict the jukes that aren't there. As orange is eaten, and it's all okay.
Yeah, interesting choice not to use last breath there. I think it would have been a great fight. You can see how close he got to actually taking the GP down. Not using that ultimate, not getting the additional damage, and of course the crowd control effect of keeping that knock hit suspended for a little bit longer.
Oh, there it is. And Hero is not going to have the orange, so it's not going to be K, and he's going to go down to Legend as Last Breath secures that kill. Really well played there.
Yeah, what a Legend indeed, getting a solo kill for himself.
Face to face here in the jungle. Brute plays kind of in a better position here. Does have the cord still to follow up. Here comes the kill, and wow, and Orianna is able to get that without using the shockwave. Really nice. And oh, looks like Kai'Sa was on the assist there.
Yep, lands that long range skill shot to try and contribute. This is gonna be first brick though in mid lane shortly. Might pay for it with her life though, but
there's no unstoppable force. There is the shockwave. Oh, there it is. It does land, and Kai'Sa is going to dash in and try to secure this, and she will be able to. Malphite looked like he had his palm in the air to slap that kill out, but Kai'Sa takes it instead. Probably for the best.
Yeah, really close to getting out of dodge there. The Spirit Rush was on cooldown for just a couple more seconds as she got caught on the far edge of the shockwave. Because of the nice roams that have come from Kai'Sa over the last little bit, they will lose out that bottom lane turret, but it's a little bit gold for gold trade based on getting kills or...
Oh, here comes bullet time onto the Earth Dragon. Looks like the stun is going to be great on the Brute plays, and they're going to be instantly taken down, and the Earth Dragon is actually going to be nicely leashed here for the Redman.
That nice revenge there for Graves. That's got to feel great as he was caught in the jungle just prior. Wow, this is aggressive. Dashing blind over the wall.
Oh. But he's going to use the blast plant, and excuse me, that was the Londoners getting the dragon there. Oh, stun coming out, ultimate coming out is going to be able to slow Kashyyyk out. Kashyyyk's going to have to flash, but Leona flashes immediately behind, and Incubus is able to pick up the kill. Oh, really nice blade there, but it looks like Kai'Sa's going to be out. The last whisper, or the last breath in the top lane, also forcing the flash out of Gangplank. That Phantom Dancer complete, and oh, Wild Child gets a kill under turret in the mid lane. Getting dragged all over the place here.
And you can see the Yasuo popping off now against the GP. Getting to that point where you just get to set up whatever play you want for yourself as Yasuo. Using the dashes, using that combo to get your ultimate off. And now he's putting a lot of pressure. Flashes were traded in the top lane.
The charms, I've seen way too many charms landing here, and actually Orianna's going to drop really low here. Debuffed Ignite, not going to be enough to finish it up, but the Yasuo Legend is going to be going down in the top lane due to a two-man gank.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He pinged assist me please, and they oblige, showing up to help that out. It's pretty good.
Yeah, really nice communication there. Didn't look good for Gangplank, stuck under turret with the Yasuo almost full health. It looks like they were able to get that, and they're going to be able to put down some pressure here on that top lane outer. But as the rest of the team... Oh, an unstoppable force goes in onto Leona. Leona was taken down low under turret, but is able to escape, and that's going to be a wasted unstoppable force, as Kai'Sa actually doesn't look to be in a position to follow the blast plant, probably for the best. Uses that dash to get in and damage out Ahri.
So close to getting the execute damage onto Ahri there too. I like the try from the Malphite to be that unstoppable force, since the minions were dying out. You have someone underneath the turret, try and crowd control them there as best you can. There just wasn't any follow-up damage, so that's unfortunate for them. But you can see Malphite not afraid to press that button. I like to see that unstoppable force, one of the strongest spells to me.
With this team comp, you got to be ready to push that button. You got to be ready to pull the trigger here. We were talking about Yasuo really managing that last threat. Could have gone in at one point, but saved it for a guaranteed kill at another. And they're really being very intelligent about their trigger plays.
Oh man.
Lands on the Taric. He's not going to be able to get the stun. And it looks like Taric and Malphite very low here. The shockwave does hit 3. But it's not going to be enough to save the team. It's far too little, far too late. As Sports goes down, that's a double kill onto Misfortune as they run down the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, the unstoppable force is already used in the top lane, so they don't have it to turn that around. And you can see Malphite not all that tanky when he's dealing with the magic damage from this Ahri. This 3 and 1. That was a lot there. They're going to be able to make this push onto mid lane. Leona still has all of her spells available in her rotation. Ultimate comes off cooldown just now. You can see Legend really low, trying to help defend. He wasn't there for that last fight with a nice 3-man shockwave from Orianna, so nice heads-up play there, but not comboed into anything. No follow-up damage, so it doesn't actually net them anything as they have to run away, and many of them fall, almost losing their base.
And this is a pretty staggering lead we're seeing here. 7,500 gold. The kills are 12-3 in favor of the Whalers right now. They've got 3 turrets to 1. Things are looking dire as they take down that Rift Herald, which is basically an extra turret.
Yep, should translate into a turret. Likely going to be top lane, that's closest. Outer, it's the only outer left up, and Gangplank is going to make full use of helping that push because of his wave clear. It'll be interesting to see where they decide to use the Rift Herald. They've got a lot of time left on its duration before they have to place it.
And I want to point out the vision here that the Whalers have got. They've got their side of the jungle very well covered. Leona is able to get a great ult in as the bullet time comes out. The shockwave hits 2, but there's no one there to follow up. As the unstoppable force also, but the last whisper breath comes down, and he's going to be able to catch 3 people in it. And it just looks like the Whalers are going to go down to this great wombo combo. Ooh! Malphite catches the true damage backside of that. As Manatide in a bad place. Great charm to maybe delay things out, keep the chase going. Yep, and actually might be able to get out here. The 1v1 coming in Quartz Hill against Tiro, but Tiro looks like his auto attacks are better, especially with that Triforce. He's going to be able to land the Q, and Orianna's down. Manatide low. Oh! Wow. What a weird fight.
Yeah, nice vision play to finish it off there. What looked to be a beautiful wombo combo win of a team fight there for the Red Men. Gets scrappy, split up, and drawn out so that they could kite away. The Whalers come out huge there, end up having 2 people live through it all when it's quasi-ace on the other end. So pretty good. Looks to make that gold lead get close to 8,000 now. That's huge for them. Only 20 minutes into the game. Baron's on the table soon.
Yeah, not quite able to translate that team fight win into any turrets. A little bit of damage up in the top lane, but Malphite Yasuo there to respond, able to stop that push from going on. And Gangplank's just going to back and spend some money. See what he gets next. Probably looking at the Sterax gauge with those items.
A pretty good choice there. Survive the front end burst that could come through from this wombo combo composition.
So in a bad spot. Drops the wind wall, but it looks like he's not going to really be threatened here as the last breath comes through onto Graves. Graves taken very low. He flashes in, tries to get the dash through, but he's not going to be able to land the Q, so that knockup will not be available. And it looks like they're just going to try and push down this turret in exchange for that Ocean Drake.
Yeah, I like the aggression here from this Legend
I don't
Yeah,
like
so
that
plays
Rift
pretty
Herald. That's a very interesting way to spend the Rift Herald. Maybe push a little bit of pressure into this lane, but that's going to go down pretty quickly here. Not going to do much to save that turret.
At this point, it seems almost like an alms to the poor. I mean, they're up 8,000. He spawns the Rift Herald, just says, here's some 50 gold if you want.
Oh, the Unstoppable Force comes in. No Last Whisper to follow that up, but looks like Graves taken very low. Going to be able to make it out. But the turret does go down, and it looks like a little bit of a base race here that the Whalers are winning. They're able to take down the inhibitor turret, and it looks like they're gonna have enough time here to take down the inhibitor as Gangplank cancels backs left and right. Really well played. Good rotation right there.
All right, they keep trying to push. The mirrored pushes on the map, but the base is actually broken in the bottom lane. Even without the Rift Herald, they're able to take that base. That's the first inhibitor that falls 21.5 minutes into this game. They're looking for the Baron next, and they got the perfect inhibitor for it. The bottom lane, the furthest from the Baron. They're going to have a lot of pressure set up for them on that side of the map. Give them more ability to set up vision, the picks, the baits if they want to go from around the Baron pit, or just take it straight up with the gold lead that they have.
Yeah, there's no vision around that Baron, so both teams a little bit wary of it. We see Ahri trying to take that blue buff out here from under Malphite, but Malphite should have the smite, should be able to... Oh, no! Smite's a little early, and Ahri's able to take it with an auto attack at 1 health. And it looks like here is the surrender coming out from the Redmen as the Whalers take the game.
Wow, a little bit of surprise there. Super close game. So it actually isn't going to be a full-on count victory there because of some problems with scheduling. These players, these are all official, backed by their schools, right? And so when they're playing at the schools, sometimes there's problems with like computer labs where they have to close them early, or it's the end of the school day, they have to usher people out. So can't actually complete the game, so that's not a full-on surrender that would count towards the scoreboard. So just keep that in mind there. But we're going to have to close it out, and they'll have to reschedule their match to get it on the scoreboard at least. But you can see, man, that was pretty good performance.
Oh, yeah. On the side of the Whalers there, they really were closing that game out pretty much on the verge of it.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to them for the good showing, at least. That was pretty good for them. I got to say, the Wombo combo was looking pretty cool when they were able to get it off.
They only got it off that one time. Actually, I was going to say during that fight where they got it off, they had 2 3-man ults from the Orianna and the Malphite, but Yasuo chose not to go in on those. He instead chose to go in off of his own Tornado Q.
Yeah.
Just interesting little factoid.
Maybe they can practice that, get it nice and polished up for when they actually can reschedule this map. So thanks again for joining us. You can catch the action every week starting at 3 p.m. on Tuesday with Rocket League. Wednesday, of course, here with us right now is League of Legends, and then Thursdays, Overwatch. And you can follow us at official EGF on Twitter and Twitch, of course, here for updates and announcements. This season, of course, would not be possible without the support from you, our viewers and participants, and of course, our sponsors, the Yukon Gaming Club, the Yukon School of Engineering, and HyperX. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Jake at SupermanCasting. More, you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, SupermanCasting.com. I'd love to have you check out my content.
And I'm David Thy Dude Blankfeld, and you can find me at ThyDude_lol or on Facebook and on Twitch when I stream irregularly.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.